Hello everyone, this is GB Chong here from Australia Property Gallery. Thank you for watching this video. Today I'd like to share with you 3 things in this video training. First, I will briefly tell you what we do, and second thing is what is our focusing in year of 2019, and then the third thing is how we can help you to identify the right client, and then also to qualify and what we can do to suit their client needs. I decided to do this video training because it's easier for you to see this video training anytime, anywhere, so that you can still ask me if any question. You can call me or email me to ask me if any concern you want to know more to offer to your client. Okay, our upcoming event will be in Bali on 22nd and 23rd and 24th in Surabaya. Bali will be in 911 Cafe, one-on-one meeting from 11 to 7 p.m. Then 7 p.m. will be dinner talk with a group. Then on 23rd will be Shangri-La VIP dinner in Shang Palace, 7 p.m. And on the 24th will be the full day event from 10 to 7 p.m. Our seminar is 1 p.m. session and 5 p.m. session. So for this seminar, who we are targeting? We are targeting a property investor, and also some property investors like to migrate to Australia through property investment. So these are my target people invite, so you can get them in to know how to do it and how our investment will be able to generate with a high return on investment. We have 3 speakers on the day, myself, and then also Melvin, the builder for NDIS, and also Randall, the experienced migration lawyer, will give talk regarding about the business migration visa. Okay, this is what we do. We specialize in new launch residential project throughout Australia. Currently, we have more than 200 projects to offer to clients, and we provide offshore mortgage loan, and we provide property management. After they settle the property, we manage the property, we get the tenant in, and decide that some client they want to build a different project or build a house, we're able to build for them. And lastly, we also facilitate for the business migration visa to Australia through our property development. These are the locations that we market and we focus at. Of course, most of the investors, they like to invest Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Adelaide and Perth. So your customer like looking for various locations in any suburb, we can able to cater for them. We have more than 200 projects to offer to them. We do regular property roadshow and event in various countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, China, Vietnam, Brunei. These are the target location. We teach investors how to invest and where to invest in Australia. We also provide property tour for our client to have site visit of our project, and also we have a strong marketing team to run regular roadshow. So most of our property are freehold and turnkey, which means we come with the renovation, the fitting, the cabinet, the wardrobe, except the loose furniture. Okay, as I mentioned before, we've been in market more than 9 years. We are very experienced, and we have hundreds of clients, and they are very satisfied. And we have a 100% record of settlement because we are very careful to select project for them. We've done our due diligence so that they will get a good return on investment and they will not get any issue, and we are here to stand by to offer to serve our client. Okay, this year is a very exciting year. So we have a new opportunity of property investment 2019. Of course, the most important thing, we must offer the right product to our client, make sure our client make money, and then we make money, and the client will invest more from us, then we make money together. So it's a win-win situation for all of us. I've been sharing with our partners, in order to sell successfully, to make good money, you need to qualify your prospect. And then also we must understand what is the investment expectation. And then beside that, you must be confident with the project, you must do your study, and also the key thing, follow up with the client. This is the key to success to make money from property investment. So a lot of our consultants ask me how to find the right prospect. Basically, throughout our experience, we have came up with 3 kinds of investors. One is they like to buy aggressive property. For example, they want to get leveraging on bank loan, 100% loan. They want to put 0 down payment, or they want to buy the property. Second type is more long-term basis, and they're willing to take risks. They buy, they keep, and buying for long term. So they're keeping the rental income. And for the third kind of investor is I can say the most difficult one, because they are really do deep research, they overanalyze, and they are not really risk taker. They're very careful. They check this, check that, and then they decide very long. At the end of the day, the opportunity gone, and then they regret, oh, I should have bought it earlier, which is radical. So we are looking for, like just I mentioned, the second category of investor, which is they buy, they really take risk, keep for long term. Because property investment, when you keep long term, definitely make money, and they get a stable income, rental income. These are the good investors that we are looking at. What property to invest? These are the common questions asked by property investor. Of course, you must understand your property investor requirement, like what's their budget, what's the return they're looking at, and where is the location they're investing. Normally, property investors, they invest in Australia, they buy apartment or landed house. So why they buy this? Because it's the easiest to manage and also easy to have a asset strategy for them as well. Some investors like to buy apartment like in the city area or near the university. Why they buy this? Because of they think that it's cheaper, but it's not cheaper, but per square feet is much expensive. And also easy to rental. So they get the high rental yield. The only thing that the disadvantage is they get the low capital gain, maybe like a couple of percent, because you buy CBD area, there's a lot of development project building up, you may not get the gain. Some investors, they like to invest landed property, because they like to enjoy the high capital gain. Because you own the land values always go up. You go very fast, it can be double up in 7-8 years. Only thing is the lower rental yield, because it's not in the city area, it's slightly further, maybe about 5-6 km or even up to 20 km, but you can get the high capital gain in terms of investment. So as I mentioned before earlier, in the year 2019, we have a new investment opportunity that investor can invest property, can get the high capital gain and high rental yield. This will attract a lot of investors like to look in this project investment. There's many investors have been making a lot of mistakes during the investment. You need to give them a good advice, because they tend to forget the objective. Buying the property is actually for investment the highest return they can get and the best return, and create a good passive income for them. A lot of them, they've been swayed, they've been got this here effect, heard their friend buying this place, this location. At the end, you might not get a good return from it. Another mistake, like for those emotional buyer, they buy the property, they put in the best thing, the good fitting. They thought that they are staying there, but actually they are buying for investment. At the end, they rent to a tenant. Tenant may damage the things because they fit in all the expensive fittings, and actually they're not getting good return because they overspend. The return investment is not that good. So the key of success of true property investor, I break it down to 3 factors that you can convince a client, and because this is the key point that invest, they make sure the property is working money for them, a good passive income for them. The first key is positive cash flow. When you buy a property, if you don't need to come out extra cash to pay every month, this is called positive cash flow. Because if you buy property every month, you need to top up. It doesn't give you a purpose of property investment. It should give you a passive income to make money for you, not you working for your property. The key number 2 is also very important, is the demand of the property. Are you buying this property? Who are your target tenant? So is that able to fetch your demand so that your property won't get vacant and you need to bear the cost of your property? So the third point is the property is self-managed. So as an investor, they buy, they don't want to spend the time to manage the property, your tenant is an issue, all these things. So the property, it should be working for you. You should buy a property as a money-making machine to make money for you. And you don't need to tie up your time, so you can go anywhere to relax. Okay, now I'd like to introduce you. This is the latest government plan, which is called NDIS. It stands for National Disability Insurance Scheme. So this is the very big plan for Australian government. Currently, they initiated, now it's running throughout the whole Australia. and they are demanding for housing to participate for this program. As I mentioned, this is a very big project initiated by the Australian government. They are very serious about it. They want this NDIS project to roll out successfully. This is a press media which announced by our Scott Morrison, the Treasury, now currently is the President. As you see in this chart, this is the Australian government. As I said, they are locating 22 billion AUD, which is the second largest investment after Medicare. They are very serious to help the special needs people in order to get them in place, get them to be in the society. This is the website about NDIS. You search the website, there's a lot of video testimonial, the success cases, the people been under this NDIS participant. They are very happy about it, and they're very thankful to the government to initiate this project. And currently there are more and more demand on this NDIS. These are the report from 2017. They spent 700 million to build the accommodation housing to fit the needs of this NDIS applicant. So currently they are still under supply of 60%. So surprisingly, now is a good time to enter because due to huge demand from this SDA housing. As I said, why Australian government is so serious about this? So they can see that this NDIS will boost Australian economy through giving this to the society because they create jobs opportunity for the people, and also it boosts the property market in Australia as well. So how this work for the property investor? We identify a location approved by NDIS, so we build the SDA housing. Once it start built, we allocate the NDIS applicant, and the government will pay for accommodation, and we send a carer which managed by NDIS provider, and then the carer will get the separate claim from government. What is SDA? SDA stands for Special Disability Accommodation, which is you buy this property, which is accommodate the NDIS applicant in the location that they're looking for. Basically, investor is definitely benefit. As I said, you own the property, the risk is very low. At the end, you still own the property, hassle free. You don't need to manage the property, provider manage everything, and all the payment paid by government, steady income, good capital gain. Because now you got choice to choose a good location. You can choose near the city, mature area, and then everything is transparent to investor. And this NDIS investment is applied any part of Australia. As you see in this diagram, as I mentioned before, you own the property, the applicant will stay in your house, and the provider will manage, the government pay everything, all the expenses. What are the risks to avoid for investor? Of course, now NDIS at the early plan, because of the huge demand in the early plan, investor got a choice to choose a location which near the city. I mean, some they can go further the city, but now you got a choice. You choose near the city, in the established area with near public transport and not too far from the city, and select the high number of NDIS applicant because we know the list which area there's a high number of demand of this. As you see this article news, which is currently NDIS still a very huge shortage of accommodation. They still need 60% shortfall in specialist disability housing. So as an investor, when they come in, it would definitely a lower risk than not getting any tenant. So it's a huge demand at the moment. Australian government pay average about 30,000 yearly per NDIS applicant. So it's actually, this is based on their SDA with full accessible because it's able to cater for high physical support as well. So it can be paid higher as well. It's also looking at location and type of property. So it depends on it. Where to invest NDIS SDA? Okay, it's actually NDIS has been rolled out nationally. You can invest any part of Australia as long that it's an approved NDIS location. Okay, currently I strongly advise investor to go for Perth. Why Perth? Because Perth currently you can get a very good pricing in terms of house and land. You can get about 600,000. You can build a 4-bedroom houses. You can cater for 3 NDIS and 1 room is for the officer to use. So, and you're getting a return, higher return because the incentive is the same, almost the same compared to Melbourne or Sydney. Because Sydney is so expensive, it could be cost you over $1 million with the same feature. Okay, as you see this slide, currently Western Australia, they have 5,600 of the NDIS applicant. So currently in Western Australia, Perth doesn't have any housing yet, SDA housing. It's good time to enter to fit the demand. What kind of NDIS SDA housing they invest? You can invest apartment or landed house. It's up to the choice of investor. But what I advise is best is to invest landed house because you get the capital gain and the rental income is much higher. This is the NDIS SDA price guideline. They are based on the different category of type of property that you build and then the type of NDIS applicant. So of course the high physical support to pay the more amount, and it depends. But normally I encourage investor to go for landed house because the return is higher, the allowance more, and then also depends on the location. Some location they pay higher in terms of the ratio. Okay, this is the example of the numbers. Let's say we build 3 plus 1 bedroom house. That means 3 residents plus 1 office for the NDIS. So the per applicant, let's say average, you get about 30K. It can be full accessible or high physical. It can be higher or up plus minus. So 90,000 per year. So a return investment is 15% gross return. So it's based on, like I said, based on category of the tenant. We have chosen this location, Siano Heights in Perth, which is located south of Perth City, which is not too far from city, and connectivity very strong with train station and highway and the shopping centers, the school around. Why we choose this? Because investor next time they buy, if they want to sell, it's easy to sell because this location is very established location. As you look at the chart, our site Siano Heights on the left hand side. So you see the shopping mall 500 meters away, the highway, and then the train station, Murdoch Uni, and it's not too far. So this area is already established and is a hot demand by the local. Even though you want to rent to a normal tenant, it shouldn't be a problem. There's a tendency to rent. This is the plan for SDA housing, which is built by the approved SDA builder. So they have experience building this NDIS housing. It's not all the builder able to build. You need a special builder to able to experience approved by the government only can build this SDA housing. So in order to get approval and submission for the NDIS. This is our house and land, the price guideline. We are selling this 3 plus 1 bedroom. That means 3 residents and 1 is for the office use for the caretaker. So the land size is about 300 meters square, the build up size about 240 meters square. So the price is slightly lower. I mean, it's only 500,000. Like you compare to this 20 km from city, you buy in Melbourne is cost you about almost $1 million. So we are only buying 500,000. Here is some of the Q&A from the client. Maybe they will ask you, you can answer them. So, I mean, of course, if you have further question, you can email me, hit the link below so that I can answer you. Can the investor select the location that they wanted to? Like example, they want Melbourne, Sydney or Brisbane, or they don't want Perth. Yes, you can, because NDIS is nationwide. The only thing is we need to identify that location. Let's say in Melbourne, this suburb, is it approved by NDIS? And also, is there any strong demand on the applicant? Because once you build, most important thing, you have a ready tenant to move in and you start to collect money from the government. How long to build the house? This is for our Siano Heights. We normally takes about only less than 7 months, around 7 months to build the house. Of course, when you build a house, you will get the approval from the SDA approval from the NDIS before you build. After completed, we start to take the NDIS tenant in. So a lot of investors ask, our project is freehold or leasehold? Most of our property in Australia are freehold property. So you can get loan from HSBC. If your client is a HSBC Premier client, they're able to get loan for the house and land or private funder loan in Australia. Or else you can advise them to refinance the property in the country and do the cash buy on the property. Is there any difference of SDA house and a normal house? Yes, there is a slight difference. The SDA house NDIS we built based on the premium spec, which is we built a quality house for the NDS applicant, and it comes with the smart home systems, automated window blinds, and the kitchen is all below the level, and also we come with the anti-slip flooring. Okay, just to remind you again, our seminar event on 22nd in Bali, in 911 Cafe, and then we have a dinner section on 7 p.m. And then on Saturday, it will be dinner, VIP dinner in Shang Palace. And on the 24th, will be full day event, 2 seminar section, 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. And then we have a link for you to register your client, whatever name. Then you put who invited, the agent invited, and which date you all want to attend. Thanks. Thank you again for watching this video, and I hope you learned something with this my video training, and we're looking forward to we make more money together. And later I will share with you with our contacts and also the link below to show you that you can register your client's name and with your contact number so that they can attend our event, and looking forward so your customer will make more money and you will make more fortune in this year of 2019.